Have you been feeling lost, empty, or disconnected lately? Do you find yourself questioning everything you once believed in? If so, you might be going through what's known as a dark night of the soul. This video will explore the signs of this profound experience and help you understand what you're going through. A dark night of the soul is a period of intense spiritual and emotional struggle. It's a concept that has roots in various spiritual traditions, but it's something that can affect anyone, regardless of their beliefs. This challenging time often leads to deep personal growth and transformation, even though it can feel overwhelming while you're in the middle of it. Let's start by understanding what a dark night of the soul really is. It's not just a bad day or a rough patch, it's a profound shift in your inner world. During this time, you might feel like everything you thought you knew has been turned upside down. Your usual ways of finding meaning and purpose suddenly seem empty or ineffective. It's as if you're seeing the world through a completely different lens, and nothing makes sense anymore. One of the first signs that you might be experiencing a dark night of the soul is deep questioning. You start to doubt things you've always believed in. The values and ideas that once guided your life now seem uncertain or even meaningless. You might find yourself asking big questions about life, death, and the nature of reality. These aren't just casual wonderings. They're intense, persistent thoughts that can keep you up at night. This questioning can be unsettling, but it's also a sign of growth. You're no longer accepting things at face value. Instead, you're digging deeper, trying to understand the true nature of your existence. This can be scary, but it's also an opportunity to discover new truths about yourself and the world around you. Another sign of a dark night of the soul is feeling disconnected. You might feel isolated from the people around you, even your closest friends and family. It's not that you don't care about them anymore, it's just that you feel like you're on a different wavelength. The things that they find important or exciting might seem trivial to you now. This disconnection can extend to everyday life as well. You might find it hard to engage in normal activities or conversations. Small talk feels pointless, and you struggle to relate to the concerns that occupy most people's minds. This can make you feel like an outsider, watching the world from a distance. While this feeling of disconnection can be lonely, it's also a sign that you're becoming more aware of deeper aspects of life. You're starting to see beyond the surface-level concerns that occupy most people's attention. This new perspective can be isolating at first, but it also opens up the possibility of forming deeper, more meaningful connections in the future. Along with this sense of disconnection often comes a loss of direction. You might feel like you've lost your sense of purpose. The goals and ambitions that once drove you forward now seem unimportant or even meaningless. You might wake up in the morning and wonder what the point of it all is. This loss of direction can be scary. It might feel like you're drifting without an anchor with no clear path forward. You might struggle to find motivation for things you used to enjoy or feel passionate about. This can be particularly challenging if you've always been a goal-oriented person. However, this apparent loss of direction is actually an opportunity for growth. It's a chance to reevaluate what truly matters to you. As you let go of old goals and ambitions, you create space for new, more authentic desires to emerge. This process can lead you to a deeper, more meaningful sense of purpose that aligns more closely with your true self. During a dark night of the soul, you might also experience intense emotions. These feelings can be overwhelming and difficult to manage. You might find yourself dealing with deep sadness, intense anger, or overwhelming fear. These emotions might seem to come out of nowhere, hitting you in waves that are hard to predict or control. You might also experience extreme emotional ups and downs. One moment you might feel a profound sense of peace or even joy, only to plunge into despair the next. This emotional roller coaster can be exhausting and confusing. It's important to remember that these intense emotions are a natural part of the process. They're often a sign that you're processing deep-seated feelings or traumas that you've been carrying for a long time. As difficult as they are to experience, these emotions are actually helping you heal and grow. The turmoil of a dark night of the soul isn't just emotional. It can also manifest in physical symptoms. You might notice changes in your sleep patterns. Some people find themselves sleeping much more than usual, while others struggle with insomnia. Your dreams might become more vivid or disturbing. You might also experience fatigue or low energy. Even simple tasks might feel exhausting, and you might struggle to find the motivation to take care of your basic needs. This physical exhaustion is often a reflection of the intense inner work you're doing. It's crucial to pay attention to these physical symptoms and take care of your body during this time. While the dark night of the soul is primarily a spiritual and emotional experience, it can take a toll on your physical health if you're not careful. Another significant sign of a dark night of the soul is a sense of spiritual emptiness. This can be particularly challenging if you've always found comfort or meaning in spiritual practices. You might feel distant from your usual spiritual routines. Prayer, meditation, or other practices that once brought you peace might now feel empty or pointless. You might also find yourself questioning your faith or beliefs. Ideas that once seemed certain might now feel shaky or unreliable. This can be deeply unsettling, especially if your spiritual beliefs have been a central part of your identity. However, this spiritual emptiness is not a sign that you're losing your spirituality. Instead, it's often a sign that you're ready for a deeper, more authentic spiritual connection. As you let go of old beliefs and practices that no longer serve you, you create space for a more profound spiritual understanding to emerge. During a dark night of the soul, you might notice that you're spending more time in self-reflection. You might find yourself analyzing your past experiences, choices, and relationships in great detail. This increased introspection can be both enlightening and challenging. On one hand, this self-reflection can lead to valuable insights about yourself and your life. You might uncover patterns or beliefs that have been holding you back, or gain a new understanding of your motivations and desires. On the other hand, this intense self-analysis can sometimes lead to self-criticism or rumination. You might find yourself dwelling on past mistakes or perceived flaws. It's important to approach this self-reflection with compassion and understanding, recognizing that everyone makes mistakes and has room for growth. As you go through a dark night of the soul, you might feel a strong desire for change. You might feel stuck in your current situation, whether it's your job, relationships, or overall life circumstances. There's often a sense that something needs to shift, even if you're not sure what that something is. This desire for change can be uncomfortable, especially if you've always been someone who values stability and routine. You might feel restless or impatient, eager for something new but unsure how to make it happen. This longing for change is a positive sign. It indicates that you're ready to grow and evolve. Even if you're not sure what direction to take, this desire for change can motivate you to explore new possibilities and take steps towards personal growth. Another sign of a dark night of the soul is a heightened awareness of the world around you. You might start noticing synchronicities, meaningful coincidences that seem to carry a message or significance. These could be recurring numbers, symbols, or events that catch your attention. You might also become more sensitive to your surroundings. Colors might seem more vivid, or you might become more attuned to the energy of different places and people. This increased sensitivity can be both a blessing and a challenge. While it can lead to beautiful, profound experiences, it can also be overwhelming at times. This heightened awareness is often a sign that you're becoming more in tune with the deeper currents of life. You're starting to see beyond the surface level of reality and connect with something more profound. As you go through a dark night of the soul, you might find yourself letting go of attachments to material things, things that once seemed important, possessions, status symbols, or external markers of success, might now feel empty or meaningless. This process of letting go can extend to your priorities as well. You might find yourself reevaluating what's truly important in your life. Relationships, personal growth, or spiritual development might take precedence over career advancement or material gain. While this shift can be disorienting, it's often a sign of spiritual and personal growth. As you let go of external attachments, you create space for more meaningful experiences and connections in your life. Coping with a dark night of the soul can be challenging, but there are strategies that can help. Self-care is crucial during this time. This might involve simple practices like getting enough sleep, eating nutritious food, and engaging in gentle exercise. It's also important to be patient and gentle with yourself, recognizing that this is a difficult process that takes time. Seeking support from others can also be helpful. While you might feel disconnected from many people, finding even one person who can listen without judgment can be incredibly valuable. This could be a friend, family member, therapist, or spiritual advisor. Engaging in creative activities can also be therapeutic during this time. Writing, art, music, or other forms of expression can help you process your experiences and emotions. Nature can also be a powerful source of comfort and healing. Spending time outdoors, even if it's just sitting in a park, can help ground you and provide a sense of peace. While a dark night of the soul can be incredibly challenging, it's important to remember that it also has a positive side. This experience, difficult as it is, often leads to profound personal growth and self-discovery. As you question your beliefs and let go of old attachments, you create space for new, more authentic ways of being. You might discover strengths and capabilities you never knew you had. You might develop a deeper, more meaningful connection to yourself, others, and the world around you. Many people who have gone through a dark night of the soul report feeling more alive, more connected, and more at peace afterwards. While the experience itself is difficult, it often leads to a greater sense of purpose and a more authentic way of living. In conclusion, a dark night of the soul is a profound and challenging experience. The signs we've discussed, deep questioning, feeling disconnected, loss of direction, intense emotions, physical symptoms, spiritual emptiness, increased self-reflection, desire for change, heightened awareness, and letting go are all part of this process. If you're experiencing these signs, know that you're not alone. Many people go through similar experiences, even if they don't always talk about them openly. Remember that this process, difficult as it is, has the potential to lead to profound growth and transformation. Be patient with yourself as you navigate this challenging time. Take care of yourself, seek support when you need it, and trust in your ability to emerge from this experience stronger and wiser. The dark night of the soul, while difficult, can be a gateway to a more authentic, meaningful life. Remember, this experience is not something to be feared or avoided, but rather an opportunity for deep personal and spiritual growth. As you move through this process, you're laying the foundation for a more authentic, fulfilling life. Trust in your inner strength and wisdom, and know that you have the capacity to navigate this challenging time and emerge stronger on the other side.